Hey, Jaden Fox here, and the aliens are coming! No, I'm just kidding. They're here already. If you look around this world, isn't there something weird going on? Doesn't everything kind of seem like it's corrupted? And if you're one of those aware people who can feel things, are you feeling some weird stuff going on here? So that's what we're going to talk about today in Program 2B, the invaders that don't belong here. So in our last program, in Program 2A, we're looking at how do you know if you have interference in your life? And if you have interference messing with you, or if it's just you messing with you, like how do you know the difference? And the key indicators that I pointed out was, one, for your being. If your being is being messed with, then you're constantly judging yourself and putting yourself down. It's the biggest indicator that I know of, because the manipulators, the interference of this reality, are hidden, and they pretend, oh, I don't exist. And so when they're in your reality pretending they don't exist and you're pretending they don't exist, what else are you going to blame, right? Who else is there, right? So you put yourself down. You blame yourself for the interference. The biggest, total, easiest, straight up thing that I can find for beings. If bodies are being interfered with, they just feel horrible because they're actually being like internally altered to not function correctly. Many aware people have both things going on. Being is being messed with and bodies being messed with. And it's like, what do you do about that and how do you untangle it? Well, first step is to become aware of that, and that there's programming that says, ignore them. They don't exist. You're better off. Like, I don't see it. I don't hear it. I'm not going to talk about it. Like we have that programming to not pay attention to these guys. But what I've learned is what actually works is to pay attention to these guys, to be aware of when this stuff is in your reality, and then you're empowered to do something different about it. If you're busy pretending, oh, I'm creating my own reality and all this stuff is just here and there's benefiting me, and it's not. What if most of the stuff around this area is not beneficial? It's malevolent, and it's actually messing with you. But if you're not able to acknowledge the games and the Trojan horses and all the weird things that are going on that we talked about in Program 1, then you're powerless to change it. So if you're feeling rather powerless, that would be another indicator that you have interference in your reality, because they make you feel powerless because they're actually powerless and you're not. We'll look at that further down the road. So in today's program, 2A, who or what is this interference? Like really, what is going on? And for me, the whole game changed when I started to become willing to pay attention to who or what is this interference. Because I had been struggling. I'd struggled with money my whole life. I'd played with poverty and just kind of barely making it for most of my life. And I started becoming conscious and aware and started accessing my consciousness and learning all these different tools. And for like, how do I actually change my reality? And found I could powerfully change my reality. But there were some areas that just wouldn't change. And money was one of the first ones that I tackled. And I started looking at it, and I cleared everything I could think of, and it wouldn't, I just wouldn't budge. And I was in fear about money, and I was always, never had enough, and I was always afraid that I was going to run out, and blah, blah, blah. And you know all those, and I don't want to throw you into that pile. But it's like I had totally bought into the notion of you create your own reality. So whose problem is all the money stuff? Well, it's mine. I made all these horrible choices and I'm all poverty ridden and blah, 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 whatever the stories were. And I had explored and cleared everything I could think of clearing. And I was quite masterful at clearing at that point. Like I was a full-on facilitator, and clearing was just not, I could clear anything. But this one wouldn't change. I'm like, grr. Okay, so I decided this is going to change. So I kept looking at what's in my way, and I kept asking questions, and I kept digging. And what kept coming up is, what if it's not you that's causing the problems? I'm like, well, then who or what is it? And that opened up the door. When I started to be willing to let go of the points of view that I have about I'm the only one who's creating my own reality, and open up to, well, what if there are other energies interfering or messing that are also creating in my reality and I'm not the only one doing it? All of a sudden, all kinds of doors opened and things changed. And I was actually able to, in a couple months, clear the points of view and the interference that was in my life that was holding me in points of view, or kept triggering me more likely into points of view that would keep me limited and would keep me in fear and would keep me powerless. And I was like, no. And for the first time in my life, money started to get easy. I didn't start to stress over it. I didn't go into fear over it. It was just like, wow, this is just not a big deal. Where was I before? Like, what was going on before? And the key difference was interference. I was willing to perceive and start, instead of blaming myself for what was invisible messing with me, I could start to go, okay, so what else? If it's not me, what else is going on? And so that's my invitation to you. If it's not you, what else is going on? And today I want to go deeper, and we'll actually start showing you who are some of the players, and we'll keep going deeper in there. The place that I want to start with is, we've been conditioned to have this attitude of this, like, live and let live, like, oh, everything is precious and all life is wonderful. And for those beings who have chosen to be part of the authentic dance of this planet and the project that is this earth, natural, green, vibrant thing that we live on, that is just absolutely glorious, yes, those things are actually quite amazing. But there are other things in our reality that aren't so amazing, that it's, you could think, oh, it's all about love and light, until SARS or Ebola or COVID or one of these other things comes dancing into your reality, and you're like, oh yes, love, and okay, maybe not. You go somewhere else, right? Like, all of a sudden, wait a minute, what if there are some energies that it's not about accepting or bringing in. It's about actually being aware and conscious of, will this energy be a contribution to my life? Is it open to co-creating in my life, or is it going to be something that's seeking to dismantle my life and take it apart and actually be a destructive force in my life? We don't necessarily want to be all love and light with those energies, okay? And when I come down to this topic, it gets into something that is actually the game that the immune system plays. If you think about in the body, that's what the immune system does. And in a healthy body, when you listen to scientists talk about how the immune system works, they're like, the first sign of something that's foreign in there, the first thing they do is they assess. So is this something that's in our database of contributive things, or is this something in our database of non-contributive things? And if it's not, they go after it and they attack it. So the first thing they sense, they try to figure out what it is. Second thing, they full out go and attack it. It's not, oh, will you work with us? No, it's already, no, you're not willing to. Out. And it's just going to kill, destroy. It's just destroy. That's how the immune system works. And what if we've been conditioned, manipulated to think about, oh, love and light, and let's just all get along. But what if there are some energies that are not here to get along? What if there's some energies that are actually antithetical to creation? They're actually destructive to creation. And it's like, if you're not in a space where you're willing and open to be aware of what are these energies, and are they willing to co-create with me? Are they going to be beneficial to me, my body, and this planet? And if not, out. And so that's one of the differences that I make, or that's one of the differences about what I do, is I I invite you to be aware of what all these energies are, not to be afraid of them. I actually want you to be bigger than them. I don't want you to be under their fear paradigm. I want you to be bigger than them. And it's like, oh, an ant. Out. Go play somewhere else. I don't want you around here. Like, it can be that simple. I don't care how big these beings are, and we'll look at gods and archons and all kinds of stuff that pretend to be really, really big and really scary and nasty. But I'm sorry, it's bullshit. They're all playing illusions. They're all messing with you. They're messing with your head. And when you can understand that, you can just go, no, out, out. I'm a co-creator of this reality. You don't belong here. Out. Banish, vanquish, banish, vanquish. And so I call it the planet immune system theory. It's like we live in bodies that are kind of like planets. We have all these organisms living inside of us, and we have this almost planet-like internal dynamic going on of most of what's functioning in our body is actually microorganisms. Like 50% or close to 50%, scientists think right now, of what has our body functioning from digestion clear up to the immune system is actually microorganisms working for us in a co-creative paradigm. What if the planet is the same way, or supposed to be the same way, that all the organisms are working together towards a co-creative paradigm, a symbiotic relationship where they support and nurture each other? Well, what if there are things that have happened with the planet that have prevented that or caused invaders to sneak in? And what if we now have interference that has snuck in, that's participating in this reality, that doesn't belong here? It's foreign to this reality, that the planet's immune system is not catching. The planet's immune system is going, yeah, there's something going on here. And I look around and this is not right, but I'm not sure what it is. And what if it's our job as aware beings to see this and go, wait a minute, these guys don't belong. These guys are here for nothing more than to destroy things. And out, these don't belong. That's the shortcut, the premise and the direction that I encourage people to go into is, what if your awareness can help the planet to become aware, can help the universe to become more aware, and we can recognize what belongs here and what doesn't belong here. Now, I realize I brought up a lot of stuff in this couple minutes, so let's do a little bit of clearing on this. So what is everything that's upper active? And so allow yourself to perceive all those energies, and can we just kind of bulldoze all that in a pile out front there? Yeah, I choose that. Outside of your body's space, so far enough out there that as soon as you get out, your body goes, yeah. So it's like far enough outside of your space that your body doesn't engage it anymore. Your body, you feel your body relax. That's how far out. And it could be the other side of the room. It could be a couple rooms away. It could be outside your house, wherever. Like, just push it far enough away. And now allow yourself to perceive all the fixed points of you and all the energies that are upper active that are down below. So typically what happens is anytime you have a system that has interference that's moved in, when you try to talk about it, it's like, no, don't listen. Don't go here. Like, no, you're not supposed to see this. No, you're not supposed to hear about this. Why? Because they know they're out the door. They know they're going to get kicked out. Once you become aware, they know they're gone. They've lost the game. And that's why I want you to become aware. So they lose the game and you get your life and your body back. So everything that's down below that's interfering with that, can we push all that in the pile? I choose that. And on the pile. And everything from back behind you in the pile and encapsulate it. Everything from up above in the pile. Everything from way out front, future. Everything from the left in the pile. Everything from the right in the pile. And encapsulate that whole pile. And tell your body out loud, body, let all that go. Not you, not yours. Not you, not yours. You have my permission, meaning your permission, Tell your body, you have my permission to let that go and do it now. And most of you work with the planet as well. Tell the planet, let all that stuff go. You have my permission to let it go and do it now. Wow. And planet, let that go, not you, not yours, not you, not yours, not you, not yours, not you, not yours, not you, not yours. And some of it, planet will let go right away, and other stuff you have to learn to coach the planet on to let it go. And that's further programs, it's more sophisticated. But so everything that's in the pile, can we shrink all that stuff down to less than nothing? And you say, yes, I choose that. If you choose that, picture it being like inside of a big marble or big bubble, and just half that size, half, until it's so small, it ceases to exist. Half. And when it ceases to exist, you'll feel like either a popping or like a rippling of energies kind of going out through the universe, or however you'll notice that's happened. And then there's also a whole bunch of noise going on. And I'm just going to do a banishing, and down the road we'll explain this. But if you're interested in starting to get rid of some of the stuff that's interfering with you, now's the time. So what are all the entities? Demonics, creatures, aliens, reptilians, parasitics, beings, doings, gods, angels, light beings, helpers, archons, corruptors, tricksters, pre-tag, pre-encapsulate, freeze, top-down, trace, scan, ideal, and all their networks, hives, civilizations, universes, and all their controllers, handlers, commanders, wranglers, customers, clients, shareholders, stockholders, boards, directors, pre-tag, pre-encapsulate, freeze, top-down, trace, scan, ideal. And now, where were we, the infinite beings, when all these energies were created? Like, we're part of this. What if you are a co-creator of this system? And you can just tap into your knowingness of, where was I at the beginning when all these things started to sneak in? Where was I when all these energies were created, assembled? And when you perceive information there, it's just like tag. I'm putting a post-it note on their forehead so we can track them later on. They're hidden here now, but I watched them come in and I was like, yeah, I'm not sure, but the universe is letting them through. Okay, I'm going to tag you. And then you can see them in your reality. So where were they were created, assembled, modified, gilded, sourced, at their inception, at their insertion, at their creation, at their corruption, at their distortion, pre-tag, pre-encapsulate, freeze, top-down, trace, scan, ideal. And this is where the choice comes in. Do you choose to banish all these energies from all dimensions, realities, parallels, virtuality worlds, and simulations? And this is where you say, yes, I choose that, or I'm not sure. So my recommendation is, if you're not sure, banish it first, see what it feels like without it, and if you still don't like it, you can always invite something back. It's your choice, like your space. So you can always invite it back into your space, but if you never get rid of it, you never know what it's like without it, and you don't know if it's true or not. So give it a try. So pre-tag, pre-encapsulate, can we banish all these energies? Yes, I choose that. And out, banish, vanquish. And say out, banish, vanquish. Out, banish, vanquish. Out, banish, vanquish. Out, banish, vanquish. Now, banish and vanquish are kind of like magic words to the universe. It's like if you're part of this co-creative reality, and that means that the planet and universe not only work with you, but listen to you like you're a reference for them. Like you're one of the co-creators of What If Truth. Are you one of the co-creators of this reality? Feel that. So it's like when they reference you, when you say out, banish, vanquish, what you're doing is you're saying, look, you are banished from my reality. Banish means out, and you're never to come back. And it becomes the planets and the universe's job to keep them out of your reality. And you can choose what layer you want to play on. You can just have it out of your reality. When I first started, I was just like out of my reality. Like if you all want to go mess with everybody else, like I didn't want to change anybody else's reality. But the more I get into this, the more I realize they're messing with everybody on the freaking planet, and somebody's got to stand up and go, no, out. This is a corruption here. This does not belong here. Out, banish, vanquish. So you can take it all the way and suggest to the planet and universe, out from all. And so you'll hear me sometimes say out, all, banish, vanquish, banish, vanquish, banish, vanquish, out, banish, vanquish, banish, vanquish, banish. And so you'll know some stuff leaves, some stuff kind of hangs in. That stuff bound by agreement. So what is everything that we and the planet agreed we would do for them? I'm just like, and what is everything they agreed they would do for us? And in this case, there's all this, oh, we'll do all this wonderful stuff for you. Oh, it'll be so great. And so truth, how much of that have they fulfilled on? No. How much of that are they capable of fulfilling on? No. How much of that were they actually intending to fulfill on? No. How much of that was actually a manipulation of the universe to kind of sneak in here? How much of this was a Trojan horse? They kind of snuck in pretending to be good guys, but they're not. All right? And there's light. And so, planet, universe, can we destroy and create all those false agreements? Yeah, I choose that. Resend, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy and create, null and void, and crunch, 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 crunch. And what's everything that was authentically the benefit or value? So I can tell if there's a trick. If the authentic benefit or value is really heavy, it was a trick. Was everything that was authentically not the benefit or value? Yeah. And what else is authentically not the benefit or value? And what is everything that was authentically not the benefit or value of engaging these energies? Now, that's the truth of it. So can we destroy and create all of these points of view and all these agreements? Yeah, I choose that. Resend, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy and create, null, void, null, void, null, void. And then out, banish, vanquish, out, banish, vanquish, out, banish, vanquish, out, banish, vanquish. And tell body, planet, let all those go and do it now. Let them go, not you, not yours. Say out loud, not you, not yours. Let that go, not you, not yours. Body and planet, you have my permission to let those go and do it now. And that means you give them permission. And do this now. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. And if you let them go, you'll notice your space is quieter. Feel that? Like there's just less stuff. There's more space, and it just seems quieter. There's less around your space. So, my interesting point of view, my belief about what's actually going on this planet, is that there's a group of non-physical exploiters that have entered the biology of this planet, are currently in the process of a hostile takeover. And they've somehow bypassed the planet's defense system, and they're busily exploiting the resources and people of this planet for off-world use. That's a big gulp. And let me dig further into that and show you kind of what the sense is. It's very much like when you have energies that come into the body that are destructive. You get a virus. I mean, there are many co-creative and symbiotic viruses, but there are ones that are not. And there are many co-creative and symbiotic. There are trillions of co-creative and symbiotic bacteria, and many that are not. And when the not ones come into the body, if the immune system is doing its job, it will just attack them and take them out. No harm done. But if the immune system doesn't catch it, or doesn't catch it early enough, it actually starts to get in and it starts to consume and dismantle the authentic body system and go behind and shortcut and pull the rug out from underneath the body. And that's when illness occurs. That's when disease occurs. When you have things that are so far out of balance, and the rug has been pulled out from the body that it doesn't know what's going on. So it can't get in there and catch up. My sense of what's going on a planetary level is it's not to the point where it can't catch up. It's to the point where it's still going, what the heck is going on? Something's not right here. And you can feel that if you're aware. You see it in the governments, you see it in the corporations, you see it in the behavior of the people who have been also corrupted and taken over. And you see it in the behavior of the planet going, why is the planet allowing this? Like you look around at the pillaging of the resources and the cutting down the rainforest. It's like, why is the planet allowing it? Like you get a sense that the planet has the ability to go, no, we're not going to do this. The game just changes here. But it's not, or has not been. Why? My impression is that this stuff has snuck in, has gotten past the defenses, has gotten past the immune system, is non-physical. I'm not talking about the silly alien stuff that movies and the garbage you see on the internet about, oh, the aliens have landed and, oh, they're going to land soon. I think it's a psyop. I think what's happening is they're already here, and you can see it in the people who are not acting human, who are not doing what's in the best interest of themselves, civilization, or the planet, and just doing really crazy things that just don't even make sense for this world. Because what if they're taken over by things not of this world, that are what I call foreign or alien? Like, they're just not from here. They have a completely different way of thinking. And like when something enters the body, you get on it and you get it out. But we've been slow to get on it. And what if that's what it's about now, is recognizing what is this invisible, non-physical interference that is exploiting our reality, that have actually banded together. To me, it's like this is like open feeding season. They've breached, they found a way through the planet's defense mechanisms, and they're kind of, all kinds of different groups are coming together, and they're not all aliens. Some of them are gods, some of them they're all kinds of things, but they've corrupted or in the process of corrupting this reality. And that's where I think that the planet and the universe can benefit from our becoming aware and going, wait a minute, this is not right. Planet, universe, we need to change this. What's going on? How can we change this? And if everyone's going, oh, we're just going to wait and love and light, and let's just like kumbaya, everybody here. It's like, no, this shit doesn't belong. Out. Banish, vanquish. Out. Banish, vanquish. It's time to start kicking some butt. That's the point of view that I have about this. And if you agree with that, then you're in the right place. If you don't agree with that, then you're listening to the wrong video. I'm just going to say it kind of that blunt. So how do you know what belongs here and what doesn't belong here? Well, there are energies that have come into the planet and they've agreed to be co-creative. They've agreed to the underlying philosophy of diversity of this planet, and they're here to fit into that energy, even if they don't exactly fit in. Like you get stuff that doesn't totally fit in. If it's here biologically by agreement, then ultimately everything will evolve and it will find a way to become co-creative and harmonious in this whole thing. I'm not worried about those. But those feel good. They feel natural. They feel like they're part of nature because they have agreed to the planet's symbiotic system and they've become part of that system. Those are what I call the good guys. Okay? And there's not a lot of non-physical good guys around, but you can see the good guys are in the natural, living, authentic, biotic planet. Then there are the other ones. When you perceive those other energies, they feel icky and harsh and jagged, and they feel just like, oh, it doesn't belong here. Like you instinctively get this gut reaction of, oh, this doesn't belong here. What if that's true? And what if that's the information that you need to begin acting on? It's like when you perceive stuff in your reality that doesn't belong here, what if the lie is that you're supposed to get all cozy with it and co-create? No, what if that's an exploiter. That is out, banish, vanquish. And those energies, what they've done is they've bypassed the system. They're not willing to co-create in the symbiotic system. They haven't agreed to be symbiotic. They're actually anti-symbiotic. They're destructive. They're just purely destructive. And you can see that at work in the system. In a normal biological system, you have the natural decay, and there's a place for the things that break things down. But what's happening now is it's out of balance. There's a lot of stuff breaking stuff down that like shouldn't be breaking down. It's prematurely breaking down. There's an overabundance of destructive energies that have come in that are rampant. Like they've not aligned to the natural system. So there's nothing controlling them. There's nothing keeping them balanced. And so you see it and you feel it. You can feel it in this reality. Year by year, this reality gets more, oh, something's not right here. That's the energy that I'm talking about. You can perceive that. And what I'm saying here is that what if it's your job to alert the planet, to become aware and go, this doesn't feel good to me. And if enough aware people go, hey, this energy here doesn't feel good to me, the planet's going to go, okay, we got to really look at this. And the universe is going to go, yeah, we got to really look at this. And so let's check this. So truth, what does it create in 10 years if aware humans accept these off-world exploiters and attempt to integrate them into the planet? Just feel what that creates in 10 years. And what does it create in 10 years if aware humans seek to identify and banish these off-world exploiters? And what does it create in 10 years if aware humans do something else? And I've explored all kinds of different things over the 10 years I've been playing with this. And the middle one for me is the only one that feels light. Now, I'm not saying it's the only solution. It's the one that I feel most connected to. And so it's about what solution do you feel most connected to? And so it's about, my invitation here is to start becoming aware and start choosing who co-creates in your reality. Who are you in relationship with that you're not aware of that you're in relationship with, that you're pretending that, or you've been conditioned to not perceive? And what if it's time to start going, no, I'm done co-creating with this garbage that does nothing but attack me. And that's what these energies do. They're attacking. They're destructive and uncreative by their nature. They're not here to play nice. They're here to consume. And that's it. So the energy of these energies is where they'll consume until the host dies, and then they move to another host. And they consume that host, and then the host dies, and they move to another host. And actually, there's information that has been received in this planet, and if you want to go deeper, I can share that information with you, where we are not the first planet who's been invaded by these characters, and some planets have survived it and have found a way through it, and other planets, maybe not so much. I don't know. That's somebody else's story. I just know there's stuff here now, and it doesn't feel to me like it belongs. So, what is everything that's upper active here? And what is everything that's in your way of perceiving who these energies are, where these energies are, why they're here? Like, all that information is readily available when you can get beyond the illusions and the distortions that have been created. And I'm going to say they've gone deep. They're not just illusions and distortions that the planet has been under. Even the universe has been tricked in different ways to allow energies in. There are energies that the universe thinks are one thing, but they're actually a Trojan horse. There's actually something very different going on. So what is everything in your way or blocking your capacity to perceive those energies? Whoa. And can we put all that in the pile? Oh, yeah. In the pile and encapsulate, and like way out front there, and encapsulate, close it, and everything from down below, and back behind, and up above, way out front, from the left, from the right, everything from inside, and everything from outside, and all in the pile, and encapsulate, seal it off, and tell your body and planet, tell the planet, body and planet, you have my permission to let these go and do it now. Not you, not yours. Let it go, 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 let it go. Wow. And can we shrink all that stuff down to less than nothing? Yeah. And wow. Wow. And so allows us to perceive all the entities, demonic creatures, aliens, reptilians, parasitics, beings, doings, gods, angels, light beings, helpers, slippery beings, corruptors, tricksters, exploiters of all kinds, pre-tag, pre-encapsulate, freeze, top-down, trace, scan, ideal, and all their networks, all their hives, all their civilizations, all their universes, all their controllers, handlers, commanders, customers, clients, shareholders, stockholders, board directors, pre-tag, pre-encapsulate, freeze, top-down, trace, scan, ideal. Wow. Pre-tag, pre-encapsulate, and that's like throwing the net bigger. We want to grab everything that they're connected to, because it's kind of like, I used to think that, oh, there's just a couple of them and it's not a big deal, but no, it's more like an anthill. Like there's a lot of them, but there's many, many anthills and of all kinds of different races and all kinds of different things. And some are hive, the lower level alien stuff is hive stuff, but it's like, let's just say there's a lot of stuff here. So I've grown to cast the net as big as I can, and everyone connected to them, and everyone connected to them, pre-tag, pre-encapsulate all. And here's the infinite being part. Where were we the infinite beings when they were all created? Tag assembled, tag, wow, modified, tag gilded, tag sourced, tag at their inception, at their insertion, tag their creation, corruption, distortion, tag, pre-tag, pre-encapsulate, all. And truth, can we banish all these energies from all dimensions, realities, parallels, virtual reality worlds, and simulations? Is it yes or no? Say, yes, I choose that, or be quiet and forever hold your aliens. And cool. So out, banish, vanquish, out, banish, vanquish. Say out, banish, vanquish, out, banish, vanquish. And do it now, like not next Thursday, out, now, banish, vanquish, out, now, banish, vanquish, out, banish, vanquish, out, banish, vanquish. Wow. And let's check agreements for the ones. So some leave when you do that first time. You just kind of grab finding them and then banishing. And the universe plan does the job. The ones that stuck behind are the ones that have trickery, that have bound them by agreements here. And so we just untangle the agreements. So what is everything that we in the planet, and you have to go planet because the manipulations at the planetary level, and you work with the planet. If you're still watching this video, you work with the planet. I'm just going to say that flat out. Most of you do. Maybe not everybody, but you probably work with them. I'll just keep going. So you're going to invite the planet into, we'll check this. Was everything we and the planet agreed we'd do for them? Was everything that they agreed they would do for you? Okay, so we didn't promise them anything, but they agreed they would do stuff for us. And so that's where the red flag comes up. They promised, that, oh, we'll do this, we'll help out in all these really cool ways, we'll be really nice guys, honest we will. And then they get through the door, and then how much of that did they follow through on? How much of that were they even capable of following through on? How much of that were ever planning on following through on? No. How much of that was a lie? How much of that was a Trojan horse of some kind? How much of that was them manipulating the authentication system of the universe? All that information. Okay. So based on all that information, can we now destroy and create these agreements as being forgeries? Yeah, I choose that. And then crunch. Resend, revoke. I crunch them because they're like crusty. It's like crunch. Resend, revoke, you can't reclaim, renounce, and say null and void. Those are another set of magic words. Null and void. Wow. And what is everything? And this is the way bodies, planets, I'm not sure about universe yet, but bodies and planets look at things. So what is everything that was authentically the benefit or value of holding on to these energies? And now it's heavy because they see it correctly. But originally it was probably light because they thought, oh, these are wonderful. Really, they are. I know they're great. But then when they see what's really authentic, it's like, oh, maybe not. So it's everything that was authentically not the benefit or value. Ooh, and what else is authentically not the benefit or value? And what is everything that was authentically not the benefit or value? Wow. Okay, there's a lot of darkness there. A lot of, and that's what those beings, that was what those beings create when they're here. And so so body, planet, universe, can we now let go of all those points of view and agreements? Yeah, I choose that. And null and void, 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 null and void. And tell body and planet, you have my permission to let those go. And do it now. Not you, not yours. Let all that stuff go. Let all this stuff go. Let all this stuff go. Let all those go. And out, banish, vanquish. Out, banish, vanquish. Out, banish, vanquish. Out, banish, vanquish. Yeah, out, banish. All, out, banish, vanquish. Out. So the first thing everybody wants to know is, who are these beings? Like, as if that would actually make a difference. It's like if I told you that, oh yeah, they're from the Orion Nebula. Does that give you something you can work with? Like, what do you do with that information? Not so much. So it's another game that they play on this planet. It's like, oh yes, they're Palladians. Oh yes, they're this. Oh yes, they're that. It's like, man, what does it do for you? Diddly. It just disempowers you. That's all it does for you. Like, are there reptilians? Yeah. The better question is, what do they do, and are they messing with you? Not so much. Not unless you're a royal or you're top of some really multinational corporation or government. You probably, they don't even want to talk to you at all, ever. They're just not interested in you. So, like, there's all this garbage in this reality about aliens that's just like, it's just a waste. So what if it's not about who they are, but rather about what they're doing? And to me also what their energy is. We're, as energy aware beings, we can perceive when their frequencies are in our space. And once you know what their frequency feels like, you can feel them messing with you. You can feel them come in. It's like if you've already explored with entities, you can feel when a normal entity comes into your space. It's kind of obvious once you allow yourself to become aware of it. Same with all these other manipulators. Once you allow yourself to become aware of it, it's actually straightforward. So I want to address it straight up. I'm going to talk about aliens, but I don't think about aliens as the way this reality has programmed people around aliens. I want to say that that's a distraction. After having gone down the rabbit hole and played in it for better part of over a decade, I'm embarrassed to say. I'm not, but it's kind of fun. It's like that stuff is a distraction. It's not about those. The little grays and the reptilians and that kind of, that's it might be alien energies, but it's stuff in costumes. I'm just going to say flat out, it's stuff in costumes. It's a psyop. So it's not important who they are, where they came from. It's, are they part of this symbiotic project, or are they foreign to this project? Are they compatible, or are they hostile and incompatible? Are they here to co-create, or are they an invasive species that's parasitic, exploitive, and they're here to dominate? Like, and these things are non-physical, they're non-material, they're intangible, they're energetic. And before you go dismissing that, gravity and electricity is invisible too, but it doesn't mean it's not real, right? Okay, so there are things here that you feel. Whether you can see it or not, I'm sorry, doesn't matter. That's what I'm talking about. What are these energies that are foreign? They're not of this world. When I say alien, I'm just talking another. It's just something not of this world. It's not co-creative. It hasn't chosen to fit into this reality. What it is, I don't particularly even care. I just want to know the game that we're playing. So I just want to be straight up with that. So they're non-physical, but you can sense them. And that's where it becomes valuable, because they're trying to hide. They're doing their best to be covert and unseen and remain hidden. They're not going to come out and go, "Hi, we're aliens. We've landed on your planet. And hi, we want to take you over." Not going to happen that way. If it is, it'll be a distraction to keep you amused while they're off doing something else. Like, they're trying to stay hidden. It's not you who doesn't want to see them. It's them who don't want to be seen. And that's why I want you to see them, because once you can see them, you just start to know what to do. Even if you don't do any of the things that I suggest, and I don't care what you do, it's just this is what I'm doing and it works for me. And if you want to do it, you're welcome to. If you don't, do something else, whatever. It's like, but once you're aware of them, there are other gifts, capacities that you have that you can start to make different choices that is going to help change the trajectory of this planet and the trajectory of these civilizations that are not necessarily going in a very happy trajectory at the moment. So like, what can we change here? And how you do it, I don't care. That you start to pay attention to it and that you start to take some action, I'd suggest that. And this is the action that I've found works for the people that I've worked with and seems to be beneficial in every way I can explore it. So I'm doing my thing. I invite you to do your thing, whatever that thing is. So what actions can you take as an infinite being, as the person that you are right here, right now? Well, in order to decide that, to figure that out for you personally, you're going to need to get some more information for yourself. And one of the first things is to become aware of this broader scheme of what could possibly be going on. What is it that you're feeling that you haven't put words to yet, that when you put words to it would allow you to start to change things and create a different reality? So in the next video, in 2C, we're going to begin to look at what are these invaders? Like, what is actually going on and who are these players? And when I look at it, it breaks down into 4 groups that seem to be specifically messing with aware people. Beings, energies that you'll recognize, that that you have likely perceived already. And the first group are entities. And they're actually just misplaced earthbound spirits. And they're actually more of a nuisance than anything else. But the exploiters, the next group, are actually putting them in your path just to kind of get in your way. The biggest group is actually what I call the exploiters. These are parasitic energies that are kind of what they have in common is they're seeking to take advantage of humans. They just like, especially aware humans, they like messing with aware humans. The one that are the biggest issue that people seem to interact with and have been here the longest time are the gods. And under them are the demonic smaller gods, angels, archangels, and the whole realm of devils and demonic energies. All of them work together in one big happy family, and we're going to look at what that happy family is, not so happy, and how they mess with you, and kind of what's going on behind those. It's the biggest group. The next group under that are the aliens, and they're just energies that are from outside of here. I'm not going to get too wrapped up in who they are. They're in these different classes. There are upper level aliens, lower level aliens, the aliens in costumes. Look at those. Archons. And then there's a small group that we don't worry about too much that we call creatures. Then the next group that we're looking at are tricksters. And these are energies that have been around for a long time, and they mess with you just for their own amusement. Like, they don't seem to have an agenda, though they do, but they just seem to mess with you just to mess with you. And they're troublemakers, and we'll look at them. And then the last group is corruptors. And these are energies that alter or break down living things. And they've been busy at work breaking down bodies and living things that shouldn't be breaking down prematurely. And we're going to take a look at what each one of these things are and what's involved, what they're doing, and how they're trying to remain invisible so that you can't see them and so that you don't know what to do. Because what I am indicating is that once you recognize who they are and what game they're here to play, you'll intuitively and naturally know what to do with them. Whether you're banishing them from your reality and from this world, or whether you're doing something else, you'll have a sense of what's appropriate. And I just want I want the illusion that hides these guys to be kind of washed away, and for you to be able to know what's messing with you so that you can take appropriate action in your reality. And so that's what we're going to look at in program 2C. Woohoo! And if you have not yet downloaded the ebook for this program, seriously, you haven't downloaded it yet? No, I haven't gotten around to it. Please do download that. There's a link down below this video somewhere. And that actually has more information and more detail and things written out in a different way than the video does. And it goes along with this, and it actually has the link to all the videos and all the content. It's this huge resource with a lot of really cool stuff in it. So please download that, and we'll see you in our next program, program 2C. Bye.